final score, Cardiff City 2, Wrexham 1. Oh, real disappointment that on a couple of levels. I mean, one is that we have been superb all year, but in this particular huge match, we weren't able to quite show a lot of the qualities that we have done throughout the season, which was in part because the conditions were difficult, a really hard, tricky pitch. Credit to Cardiff for getting the game on, and they look after that pitch as well as you possibly can, but ultimately you can't do much about frost, can you? And it was cold, and as a result of that, I think it did hamper us. I think the Cardiff adapted better than we did. I'm not going to use that as an excuse, but I think maybe is a reason why we weren't quite as fluent as normal. But the big disappointment, of course, is that we did what great teams do. We managed to still recover, and the last 20-25 minutes were ours. We got the equaliser, and as a result looked like we were there, and then 17 seconds left from the end of added time, we concede a goal which will disappoint the coaching staff, as all goals do, but this one I think particularly. And then after that, we still, 2 minutes over the added time, went incredibly close to scoring. So all round, just a bit annoying, wasn't it? It was really such a shame. I mean, the weather was horrible. Like I said, Cardiff did brilliantly to get the game on. And when the match started, goodness me, there was a crazy openness to the first exchanges. Cardiff should probably have scored after 30 seconds. Bowen lifting a ball in, and Oldham goes racing through on goal. Lizzie Craven does well to come out quickly, but Oldham gets there first, lifts it over, looks certain to score, but it's the start of a masterclass by Jodie Bartle, who was absolutely magnificent at the back, and she manages to cover her keeper, get around and push Oldham off the ball and clear the danger. And about 90 seconds later, we should have gone ahead when Mahmood opened everything up with a glorious ball down the left-hand side, and all of a sudden, we are 4-on-1. Knox unmarked down the left, 3 players marked by 1 in the centre. But Knox pulls it back and picks out the defender, Billingham, who is able to slash it behind for a corner. So, wow, opening drama at both ends. And the game continues in that sort of manner. But Cardiff are the ones who are really carving out the good opportunities. Lovely move down the left, sees Fionn Price play a nicely worked 1-2 down the flank, and she's really smart. She holds on to the ball. She wants, as players are attacking the box, she sees Billingham is arriving a bit later and cuts it back to her nicely. Billingham, who was as magnificent as Bartle was, quite frankly. I mean, those two were brilliant. Rips in a shot that goes close. 10th minute, we have an unbelievable escape. Really nice work by Oldham, who manages to get beyond Smith after nicking the ball from her. She works it forwards. Kerno lobs the ball over Craven from close range, and Cook, running into the 6-yard mark, has an open goal in front of her. Makes a slightly odd sort of attempt to play it when just get a touch and you've scored, and misses the ball. Remarkable escape for us. We go straight up the other way and forge out an opportunity ourselves. Nice ball by Lily Jones. Cara Jones into the right channel as a sight of goal, but she pulls it and it goes a long way wide. But then soon after that, they're back on the front foot. Price, with a typical audacious effort, she strikes the ball so well, doesn't she? And she will try from distance, hitting a shot which curves over Craven, hits the top of the right post and drops down. And Michaela Cook should probably have done a bit better, but Craven, to be fair, having seen she can't reach the shot, hasn't overcommitted and dived in vain, so she's able to stay on her feet, and she blocks the straightforward route for Cook to goal, and Cook pulls it badly wide. She could have squared it. She's got an unmarked player just standing on the edge of the 6-yard box with an open goal in front of her, but you can understand why Cook, in that situation, ball dropping down off the post and close range, is thinking, I'm going to knock this in, especially having missed a similar sort of chance. Again, Wrexham counter well. And on this occasion, it's a ball played in over the top. Great ball by Barker. Knox is running onto it. Chamberlain really, really quick to get out of the box. Only just beats Knox to it. And a minute later we go close again. Lily Jones trying a hand at a long ranger from 25 yards. Strikes it really well, but it's held by Chamberlain. A minute on again though, and we have conceded. And it's frustrating, but there's not much you can do about it. Billingham again prompting from deep on the left. Great switch over to Cook on the right. She beats Snape and drives a good cross into the near post. Erin Lovett gets a toe to it but can only prod it into her own goal. It's cruel. You can't blame Lovett at all. I would blame Lovett if she just left it, hoping nobody would touch it. It's just, that would be poor. What she does is what any good defender's got to do. It's a horrible ball, drilled in fast between her and goal, and she's got to get something on it. Otherwise, who knows who's going to tap her in? And luckily for her, it's well struck, and therefore she can't get enough of up round it to put it around the post, right in the bottom corner. Craven has no chance. And it's unfortunate for Lovett, but you can't, despite the fact that we have been counter-punching quite well, you can't argue it was against the run of play. Cardiff are opening us up and making really clear opportunities. They're looking fast down both flanks. Billingham is drifting around off the main striker and causing real issues. And they're coping better with the pitch. They're pinging these big diagonals out and finding their wide players early. They're playing balls to pass on to. Our passing is not quite getting there. We're not quite giving the ball to the players who are going to hurt the opposing side, and it's a difficult pitch to move the ball around as we like to as well. And as a result, we're looking decent when we counter, like Cardiff, when they look quite direct, causing issues, but we're struggling to be accurate with our short passing. Like I said, the pitch playing a big part in that, and you know, it's just a case of not quite being able to make sure. Mia Roberts, I had to bring some of her analysis into all this, don't I? Was on S4C, and she was excellent, talking about how Cardiff players receiving the ball facing goal, driving forwards, Wrexham players receiving the ball not facing the opposing balls at goal, are therefore having to use their technique and their touch and make sure, and it just wasn't a pitch to consistently be able to do that. We do, though, show heart throughout, and we do look to fight back and have a little moment soon after the goal. Snape with a free kick. There's something to conjure with for later on. Sweeps it in. It takes a touch off a defender, and Clark is attacking it in the goal mouth. Chamberlain does well to just get there ahead of her. But at the other end, it's again Cardiff pushing on. Billingham going down the left, cutting inside, beating Smith, and there's a lovely, again, lofted curling shot that Craven's got no chance with. It hits the bar and flicks behind for a goal kick. Before Wrexham again pushing on. Nice move this as well. Lily Jones feeding it inside for Barker in the box, who maybe should have had a go herself, but she's unselfish. She works it wide for Mahmood on the left. A pass that's a bit behind her, so Mahmood has to go wide and retrieve it, but then goes off on a typical dribble, attack in the box, and then pulls it back. It's a chance, but Knox slices it, and it goes off target. Before, at the other end, it's Cardiff working our woodwork again. This time, Bartle trying to play the ball out from the back, but like I said again, those sort of passes are simple passes, just running away from players on the icy pitch, and the ball just runs away from Smith, which allows Billingham to nick in and hit a hell of a hit from a good 30 yards, which again swerves over Craven, hits the bar and bounces away. And Cardiff take this as a cue to really finish the half strongly. Billingham beating Snape on the right, drilling it in, good keeping by Craven. Gets across and gets a right hand to it as it's flying across goal. It drops for Cook though, but slightly behind her, and she does rather well to fashion a cheeky back heel, and she gets a lot of power on it from about 10 yards out, but Craven is able to get down and cover it. And then soon afterwards, Wrexham again looking to cause an issue. Again, it is Snape putting in those good balls from midfield. She lifts this one in. Bowen misjudges it. It goes over her head. Lily Jones is unlucky in that, you know, she doesn't get much time to see it. She's 6 yards out at the near post. It's a difficult angle to turn the ball around, and also, to be fair, Power has come across and covered her well and sort of blocked her view of goal. She tries to get a touch onto it, but she can't feed it on target. The last moment of danger in the half appropriately falls for Cardiff. Price with a free kick, which was lofted nicely, but lands on the roof of the net. A little bit knocked off that, and it would have gone in. The second half, well, Wrexham started much better. No changes, but clearly I think that they've had a sit down and a good think about exactly how to go about things. And we started much better. We start to get at Cardiff, but then Cardiff on the transition should have gone 2 up 7 minutes into the half. And it's a great ball by Power, I beg your pardon. It's a great ball that sends Cook one-on-one with the keeper through the middle, and Craven's brilliant here. Races off the line and saves with her feet. Cook absolutely clear. Great keeping by her. She gets good distance on it as well, but Power, the Cardiff skipper, follows it up, and from long distance, not with the Craven necessarily out of the box, strikes a shot on towards the unguarded goal and nails it. But Bartle gets across brilliantly and manages to get the ball off the line. Great work by her. But yeah, Wrexham are doing better. And in the 59th minute, we strike. Like I said, our main source of danger is Snape, from unpromising situations in midfield, dropping perfect balls in just behind Cardiff's back line, and they're not coping with them. And Snape does it this time to perfection, drops another one in. Again, Cardiff defenders can't quite reach it. Knox has made a great run in behind the defence and improvises a very clever finish where she manages to... Well, it's very difficult to control, and she's running towards goal, but with her back slightly turned away from goal, she manages to get a touch with her legs that kills the bounce, and it spins up in the air. And then as Chamberlain tries to reach it, she heads it beyond the keeper's flailing arms, and Wrexham have got an equaliser. And the second half does feel different. We are getting more of the ball to Barker, who's dropping a little deeper sometimes and able to run at players. Mahmood continues to look dangerous when she's getting service as well, and it's looking promising. There's a dangerous moment at the other end when Cook drills a free kick in from distance, which is just over the bar. But then in the 72nd minute, we make a double change and really sort of match Cardiff up. We previously were more of a 4-4-2 with the wide players coming inside. Now we go more to the 4-2-3-1 that Cardiff play. Phoebe Davis comes on for Cara Jones. Rosie Hughes comes on for Nat Clark, who's been having a bit of a rough time of it. She injures, looks like her shoulder falling, and then soon afterwards an innocuous little fall, but she has to put her hands out again, and you can see it. You can see that jolt onto her collarbone and her shoulder area, and so she tries to carry on, but she comes off. And with Davis at right back and Hughes through the middle, Wrexham start to really threaten and get a bit of a grip on the game, to be honest, for a while. Hughes with a really clever, quick throw in down the right-hand side. Barker, brilliant run, nutmegs a defender, Bowen, hits the goal line and then pulls it back perfectly for Knox. And it's just so cruel for Knox. She's about 7 yards out. It's a heck of a chance. I think, to be fair to her, defenders are getting between her and goal, and she feels I've got to try and hit the roof of the net, and she gets under it and skies it, and you can just see the look on her face. She's horrified that she hasn't been able to take the chance, but Wrexham are getting back into it. Having said that, with the table slightly turned now, Cardiff naturally are looking decent on the breakaway. Chamberlain gets a bit lucky. She mishits a clearance, but it goes flat straight through to Billingham on the halfway line, who turns and feeds it nicely. Fiona Barry has come on now. Remember at Buckley, when the sides met earlier in the season, Barry came off the bench and changed the game completely, won and scored an 85th minute penalty to earn a point for Cardiff. Well, here she is repeating the trick. She breaks down the left hand side. It's a good run, cuts in, typical work by her, drills it right footed, well held by Lizzie Craven. And then within a minute, there's another moment of huge danger. Barry, again, just changing things. She receives the ball back to goal edge of the area, turns beautifully with it, and suddenly she's got past Phoebe Davis and she's one-on-one and looks odds on to score because Craven's not had a chance to come out and narrow the angle. Or so we all think. But Phoebe Davis doesn't think so. She pulls off the most ludicrous goal-saving tackle, jumping in from the wrong side and cleanly winning the ball and then hooking it and coming out with the ball as well. Absolutely ludicrously good tackle. And, well, here's a compliment. As good as anything that Jodie Bartle did in that game. It's brilliant work. And Wrexham stay level. We throw Ava Suckley on for Mary Mahmood, who was suffering, looks like, from cramp. Certainly she covered a heck of a lot of ground. And Wrexham are pushing hard in the last 10 minutes. That renowned fitness is really showing, and we are pushing very hard. Barker does well, wins the ball on the right flank, and was driving up to the edgy area, hits a shot which Chamberlain does well to hold on to. Then it's Barker racing down the right again, sweeps the ball in, but it's maybe just a little bit overhit, and it's difficult for Knox beyond the far post. She can't steer it towards goal. That came from a corner by Cardiff, which Wrexham were able to clear. And so it looks like we've finished strongly and got a draw, which would maintain our 5-point clear, albeit having played one more game than Cardiff at the top of the table, until the fourth of the 4 minutes of added time. And like I said, it's a really frustrating goal to concede. More of a clearance than anything else by Jenkins over the top. There's a question as to whether Fiona Barry is offside. I'm not saying she is. There's no angle that properly shows it one way or the other. It's going to be a close call, but the flag stays down and Barry does ever so well. She gets it about 30 yards out, carries it into the box and drills it across Craven and into the far post. And Cardiff celebrate naturally like wild. Incredible to get a winning goal like that so late in the game in such a high stakes match. Although it nearly wasn't the winner, because the referee rightly plays a couple more minutes, because naturally there's a bit of celebration going on there. Maybe a bit too much, but we do straight away win a free kick from the kick-off in midfield. Snape again stands a great ball in. Suckley attacks it, gets a head onto it, and the keeper looks beaten. It's a close-range header. Bowen is standing about 2 yards off the line. I don't think she knows that much about it. I think it hits her head and spins over for a corner. The ref lets us take the corner, but the moment it's smashed away by Bowen, he blows the final whistle. And cruelly, we've suffered just our second defeat of the season. But I say cruelly, like I say, it's not cruel in the sense the balance of play. Cardiff really could have taken more advantage in the first half of their chances. It's cruel because we did respond well. We did fight back. And we ended the game strongly, just to be caught out by a clearance over the top. Frustrating for Wrexham. But we go again next weekend, weather permitting. And let's hope that we can get back to winning ways. With a final score of Cardiff City 2, Wrexham 1, I'm Mark Griffiths from Wrexham AFC.